Well, hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. Today is December 26, 2018, and it's just a very, very exciting time to be here with Team Prosperity. Again, I know how valuable everybody's time is, so thank you so much for being here. And I appreciate everybody taking the time to listen to the recording as well. I'm very excited to see Mike's presentation. And what I did was I put together a few slides about some of the things that have been going on and some announcements and things that have been happening. So let me go ahead and pull that up, and we'll just jump right in. Again, thank you, everybody, for being here. Wednesday, December 26, 2018. This is actually our last training for the team for this year. So very, very excited. And like I said, I know how valuable your time is. So thanks again for being here. And if you celebrate, I hope everybody had a wonderful Christmas with their loved ones, and excited for the end of this year and very excited for 2019. A few things that have come up and wanted to discuss with you. I went over this last week some. There's a new WFG sign-up process. There's a lot of great tools and things that they've added to the WFG platform. And really the overall sum is that now there's an extra $25 fee once somebody's licensed to do their background check. The other changes that happen through the AMA process, if you're one of the managers that actually does the sign-ups, is you're going to need to verify their email address in the middle of the AMA. And if they're licensed, they're going to need their license number on the new AMA. If you're going to get stuck on that, you can always get the license number on NIPR.com. Print my license, you select the state, you follow the instructions, and you should be able to get that license number. If anybody needs my assistance with that, I'm happy to, show you how to do that, but it's pretty easy. Also, if somebody's licensed and they have their license there, obviously the license number is right there on the front. The other big change that happened is the WFG has a new president, Tom Dempsey. There were 2 emails that went out about this, and I heard that he's a great guy. I talked to the CEO, Bill Mitchell, about this, and he knows Tom well, and we're really excited to have him, and he's written a few letters. If you don't have that in your email, I'd be happy to forward it over, but here's a little chunk of that with a picture. And also, a lot of people have been asking me about the scripts and the slides that Chris Delfino goes over all the time on the trainings. I do have that new updated PowerPoint. There's been a lot of versions of it, but I've got the latest version as of a few days ago. So if any of, the managers need that, please let me know. I'd be happy to share that with you. And I know that they talk a lot about this ABC call and the pivot and offering the financial needs analysis. Again, I have all this information that includes the Tier 1 ABC call script, so please let me know if you need them. I'd be happy to forward them over. The other thing that I wanted to discuss, and Mike Hensvarth covered this on our last training, and I asked him about, where is this slide, not this one, but this one right here, the 12 reasons to go for the fast track. I thought that this was, it had some really, really cool points on it that, we haven't discussed before. So I wanted everybody to see this. And again, I can show you where this is on VFG Pro. It's actually right where the people watch the 3 training videos. It's right underneath that. So this is something that you can see. The first few reasons talk about why doing the fast track on personal suitability makes sense, building a tax-free nest egg for your family's retirement, providing living benefits. Then it talks about, karma, practicing what you preach. If we're asking others to do the fast track, it's definitely something that we want to have done ourselves. And talks a little bit about different ways to generate the additional $300 cash flow in your budget to be able to fit that fast track into the budget. Talks about, tax savings, getting a financial needs analysis as well as inviting others to do a financial needs analysis, replacing your own or other people's out-of-date insurance and upgrading it, to living benefits if they can qualify, and talks about, cutting the promotion guidelines, getting a raise on all of your future sales, and you can kind of read this down here. So all great stuff, and If anybody wants the slide, I'd be happy to share it. But really what we're going to talk about today is a 12-week year, and I'm very, very excited about it because I'll tell you that personally the 12-week year has helped me so much. This will be the third time that I'm doing it. The first time that I did the 12-week year, it helped me kind of wrap my mind around getting organized and identifying those key things that really are the income-producing activities in our business. This second time that I did it, I was actually able to track it, see how well I did on the goals. You know, I made more realistic goals with tactics to reach those goals. And I feel like it really helped me a lot. It really went hand in hand with our daily activity sheet. So I definitely implore you, if you haven't done so yet, get the book, read it. I know Mike has shared my version of the audiobook with the group. If anybody needs that, let me know. If you don't have an Audible account, you should be able to download it for free and listen to it that way. And I believe that the book can't be more than like $10 online if you would like to get, you know, a paper version. But what it's really going to do is it's going to help you categorize what's important. It's going to help you prioritize and schedule those things. So definitely a great way to get organized and get better results for your business and your day-to-day activity, because you all know that you can be busy without doing the activities that really matter. So this really helps you identify those activities and get them on a schedule and track them, and that way you can track your results as well. And that's really all I have. You know, the next time that we meet on this Wednesday meeting is going to be 2019. And if I don't talk to every single one of you before then, I hope everybody has a very, very productive and happy end to this year, 2018, and has an amazing 2019. We're here to help you make 2019 amazing, as well as the rest of this year. So anything that we can do for you, please lean on us. Your success is our success. And that's really all I have. I'm really excited to bring up Mike, and I can't wait to see his presentation. So give me just 1 second to grab him. Thank you so much.
Last meeting of the year, you guys. Hope everybody's had a good holiday season. As far as Christmas, still got New Year's to go. We've talked about this in the past. We talked about this on the company meeting. You know, during this holiday, if you can get work done, you're going to get a head start over a lot of people who are still waiting around for that calendar year to roll over and, you know, start 2019. What we've got for you guys today is we told you that we're going to be starting the 12-week year, and this is just going to help you guys get into the mindset of the 12-week year. Wasn't sure how my voice was going to hold up today. I'm battling the sickness, so we probably cut out a little bit early, but I do have some good information for you guys that will help you, and we're going to start some interaction on the Facebook group to help you guys kind of contemplate and think about goals that are going to work for you no matter where you are in your business. I was talking to a guy earlier today on LinkedIn, and I was just mentioned to him he's a personal trainer, just connected with him, that you're coming up to your busy part of the year. And he said you wouldn't believe how many people buy packages at the beginning of the year for 5 or 10 sessions, go to the first or second one, not show up for the next one, not pick up his phone calls, not return anything as far as a response to a voicemail or a text. So with every industry, every sector across the board, naturally people just give up. They quit. They don't see things through. No matter where you go in life, and no matter if it's business or personal, you've got to get into the mindset where you start establishing a rhythm of activity that allows you to get to the end point. Because like we've talked about before, the more often that you set goals for yourself and set promises for yourself and you keep those, it's going to build self-confidence, and you're going to start expecting that from the other people that come into your organization. And that creates what we always talk about, accountability, which is going to get the results and the success that you're looking for. A couple of things that I wanted to go through. I wasn't sure how I was going to organize my thoughts for this particular part right here. When I was in school, if we had a substitute teacher or our teacher just didn't feel like teaching us that day, we'd go to the library and play Oregon Trail. I don't know if you guys remember Oregon Trail or if you ever played Oregon Trail, but Oregon Trail is a game that allows you to start from a point and then go for a long distance to try to get to the end point. And just to jog your memory, these are some things that came up. This was the graphics, very old school. But in essence, this is what you were doing. The original game was designed to teach school children the realities of 19th century pioneer life on the Oregon Trail. Player assumes the role of wagon leader guiding his party of settlers from Independence, Missouri to Oregon's Willamette Valley over the Oregon Trail via wagons in 1848. So there's several ways that you could organize your start. You could get a lot of ox, go very fast. You could load up on food. You could get medicine. No matter what you did, you were always going to run into obstacles. If you had a lot of ox, you're going to go very fast, cover a lot of ground very quickly. But if you run out of food, don't have medicine, you're going to die. On the contrary, if you get a lot of food, a lot of medicine, fewer ox, you go slower. And if something happens to those ox, then all of a sudden you get stuck halfway through. I think a lot of you guys are getting stuck because you don't have enough in the arsenal. Just sending out LinkedIn messages, just sending out email marketing campaigns, that's only just, 1 or 2 points of the whole business model. If you can get into the mindset and the vision to create, a slew of activity, a funnel that leads actually to enough leads coming in, and you get good at using the communication schedule, follow-up schedule to resolve those leads, you're going to find what you're looking for. So remember, don't be one-sided, two-sided in this business approach. In 2019, open yourself up, do the things that we say that are required or necessary to get you to a point where you start to build, because eventually you're going to have to do little to nothing for this business. You've got a cash flow asset that produces a lot of passive income. To get there, you're going to have to put on some work on the front end. And we went through this last 2 weeks as well. Excuse me. Quarter one of 2019 can be very explosive for you. We try to organize it around what the platform's doing with the 12-week year, with what we're doing as a team as well. So these three things, the 12-week year, the points multiplier, the basketball tournament, hopefully you guys, quarter one of this year, will see more growth than you've seen if you've been in for a year, the entire last year. You have an excellent opportunity to take advantage of these next 3 months and really capitalize on a lot of things that are going on. So let's talk about getting off to a quick start, head start, whatever you want to call it. Wherever you are in this company, whether you're working on promotions, whether you're working on bonuses, you need to make sure that you understand what's happening here. All points in January are multiplied by 1.8, so almost a 2-for-1 point deal. That's going to be an incredible month if you work it correctly. February, the following month, all points are multiplied by 1.35, and then in March by 1.2. So you kind of start to envision in your head how things are going to develop, at a rapid pace if you take into consideration the points multiplier with the 12-week year. That's going to help you organize and have effective time management with our basketball tournament that breaks down the monotony and the grind of building a business to make it a little bit more fun, a little bit more interesting. So make sure that you have all this taken into consideration. Push it in this first quarter. If you have a dynamite first quarter, it's going to set you up for a great rest of the year, 2019. And the basketball tournament, this is just for fun, guys. This is to help, take the monotony and the grind, like I said, out of building a business. And no matter if you've been here for 1 day or 1 year, we're all going to be on the same level playing field to compete with each other. Last year's winner was Sean Gibson, so he'll try to repeat and, retain his title. Basically what happens is a direct partner hire. That's somebody who's gone through a Tier 1 contact, a Tier 1 confirm, a Tier 1 ABC. They're a qualified business partner. They come in, that's a basket. That's 2 points. Standard track exchange to you, meaning one of your new partners completes that standard track exchange to you. That's a free throw, 1 point. And the fast track exchange is a 3-pointer. We've aligned this to start the exact same day as the 12-week year for our team. So January 7th is the start date. And then the winner, $100 gift card. Now, in the future, prizes will probably get a lot bigger as our organization grows. Right now, a $100 gift card goes to the winner. So all of these things are just trying to get you guys, further along, more success, compressed time periods, and have a little fun while you're doing it. So the 12-week year, this was important for me because I always thought in terms of, what do I want to get done this year? Where do I want to be at the end of this year? And that's an important part of, looking forward, planning out what you're going to do on a business or personal level. But the farther you plan into the future, the less predictability you have. With long-term plans, assumptions are stacked upon earlier assumptions, which are stacked upon even earlier assumptions. The reality is it's very difficult, if not impossible, to determine what your daily action should be 11, 12 months into the future. So what you're going to be doing this time next year, it's probably going to be a lot different, hopefully, than what you have to do right now. So it's impossible to say, okay, I'm going to, have this as a goal, as a plan to be doing next December the 26th. What you want to do is break these down, compartmentalize, like everything we do in this business, even that your time, your planning, your actions need to be geared towards short term so that you have better control over it and you get more out of it. So the 8 elements of high performance. This is pretty important because if you combine all these elements, just like we always talk about, there's mastery to everything. When you talk about mastery in headhunting or recruiting, we have that pyramid or that triangle that we try to master all points. When we do, it really puts us in a position where we become an effective recruiter or headhunter and we start attracting talent. What's no different than a lot of other things that you do, because there are 8 elements that are the fundamental to high performance in any endeavor, whether it's personal or business. And these are it, vision. And these are I think vision is the one thing in my WAM group from last time that we really didn't do a good enough job on. Because without the vision, without a compelling vision, that's what creates a clear picture for the future. Why am I doing this? Because if you don't know why you're doing this, all of a sudden it becomes a lot harder to get in the trenches, get in that foxhole, and do the day-to-day activity. Also planning. Remember, without a clear plan, it's going to be a struggle. So the effective plan clarifies and focuses on top priority initiatives and actions needed to achieve that vision. Process control. You got to have that set of tools and events that align your daily actions with the critical actions of your plan. So what you're doing on a day-to-day basis is going to be an indicator of what's going to be happening down the road for you as far as growth of partners, growth of revenue, growth of income, all of these things that we're looking for. And then measurements, lead and lag indicators that provide comprehensive feedback necessary for informed decision-making. I don't really care, and I could be wrong. I don't care about lag indicators. What I look at for myself and what I think you guys should be looking at is lead indicators, things that I can do today that should be leading me down a path to get to my goals that I've set forth for the 12-week year or whatever type of time period that you're looking for. And then time use. Using your time with clear intention is a must. We always talk about breaking your day down to 1-hour increments. That allows you to focus clearly and intently on one time period that's short, compressed, where you can either get a lot done, reward yourself, or not get a lot done, but be able to set the reset button, figure out what happened during that hour that did not allow you to get what you were looking for out of that time period. And accountability. I mean, this is not anything new. We preach this, week in, week out. Accountability is ultimately ownership. It's a character trait. It's a life stance. It's a willingness to own your own actions and results regardless of the circumstances. Once again, feel pretty terrible today. I could have easily called off this meeting, could have easily just sat back, watched TV, said, you know what, I feel better, I'll start doing stuff. But as you start to make, like I said, promises to yourself, it builds the character, builds self-confidence, allows you to go forward and instill that in other people. And then the commitment. We always talk about this as well. Keeping your promises, like we just talked about, to others, not just to yourself, but to others. And that's why we form these little teams. Build strong relationships, and keeping promises to yourself builds character, esteem, and ultimately success. And then greatness in the moment. The results are not an attainment of greatness, but simply a confirmation of it. If you do what's necessary to become great, it's going to fall in line, and all of a sudden you're going to get to a time point in the future where everything's going to start to come together, and you look back, you're going to know exactly why and how you got here because of what you did starting today. So your vision, this is ultimately one of the most important things, because without a clear vision, you're going to feel like quitting, because some weeks you're going to have great scores. Some weeks you're going to have mediocre scores. Some weeks you're going to have terrible scores. It's on those mediocre to terrible weeks that you're going to say, you know what, maybe this wasn't the right time to start the 12-week year. I'll start next time. And the next time comes around, you do the same thing, and that becomes a habit for your brain. So it's going to help you stay on track. You're going to need a powerful reason why, and that's your vision. Why are you doing this? Why are you today going to pick up the phone and make calls? Why are you going to connect with people on social media platforms? Why are you going to do marketing? Because if you don't know why you're going to do this stuff, it becomes very easy to become distracted, drift, and ultimately quit on yourself. So there's two visions. There's aspirational and 3 years. Your aspirational vision describes how you want to live your life. What do you want out of your life? And ultimately, what do you want to achieve? That's going to be on an individual basis. I can't tell you guys what you want out of your own life. What I want is going to be very different from what you guys want probably. This can include achieving financial independence, starting a healthy life, living to the age of 125, whatever it is that you want to do in your mind right now that you've got set forth going forward. Think about that. That's your aspirational vision. Your 3-year vision describes the key objectives you want to achieve within the next 36 months. That's very important. Yes, we're breaking it down to the 12-week year. Yes, we break our days down by the hours. But ultimately, where do I want to be in the next 36 months? I know one of the things I want to do, not be here for many more winters. So within the next 24 to 36 months, I want to be back in a climate where I don't have a winter like this. Alana and I just can't handle it. We come from, last couple moves I had was Las Vegas, Nevada, and Orange County, California. The winters out here, they suck. I don't want to be a part of it. So this gives me a real reason why, as soon as my kid finishes his school, Alana and I can, pick up and move pretty much wherever we want to. So that's part of my vision. Whatever it is that your vision is, whether it's moving, whether it's financial, whether it's personal, got to get in touch with that. How do you want to live your life? What do you want out of your life? And then over the next 36 months, what are you going to do to get there? The 12-week year, the book, and once again, if you don't have the book, you need to get it. If you have it, reread it. It recommends leveraging the power of repetition to keep yourself motivated to realize your visions. We always talk about this. The brain loves habit. The brain loves repetition. That's why addiction is so easy for people to get, in the cycle of, good or bad. You can train your brain. You have the ability to strengthen and develop your brain by thinking about a compelling future. That's your why for yourself, your family, whoever it is that you're working for, by regularly and repeatedly thinking about an inspiring vision where you emotionally connect with the life you desire. Not just thinking about, for example, moving, feeling what that sunshine feels like, feeling what being outside at night when it's 75 degrees feels like. That's my type of weather. I feel it. I want it. I'm going to make it happen. So, what will your life look like in 2019? Visualize your future with a vision board. In the new Wealth Wave stuff, you're going to have, e-vision boards where you can, pin stuff to that. It's not about just thinking about that. It's about feeling what you want with your life. What is that goal? Imagining yourself in that present moment. And print out your vision. Remember, in the day-to-day activity, it's going to be a crapshoot. Some days are good, some days are bad. Review your vision. Review your goals at the beginning of each day, during your weekly review with your WHAM group, and planning sessions. And anytime you need a boost of motivation, like I said, if you're having a bad day, get up, walk around, think about why you're doing this, review your vision board, goals, whatever it is that you have right in front of you. This is why you're going to do the necessary work to get you to that end point. And then set your 12-week goals. You're going to have the overall goals. What do I want to accomplish in this next 12-week period? Then you're going to have your tactics. Remember, tactics is the weekly activity. What do I need to get done on week 1 through 12 each week that I think is going to get me to that goal? And you're going to break that down into daily actions. What do I need today? What do I need to do today that's going to get me to my weekend tactic goals that's going to get me to my overall goals? 12-week plans also give you a better picture of what you should do on a day-to-day basis. And then when you're writing your goals, ask yourself, how are things going to be different if you accomplish these goals? Whatever your goals are, think about if I get this done over the next 12 weeks, what's going to be different for my business? What's going to be different for me if it's a personal goal on a personal level, family, whatever it might be. This is going to keep you motivated when the times get tough. Times do get tough no matter what you do in life, personal, business goal, it's going to be a roller coaster ride. Really, if you want to look at your goals, 2 goals is okay. 3 goals is okay. Maybe you can even squeeze out 4 goals. Don't put too many goals out there where you get lost. It's kind of like in the financial needs analysis we do with the client. They have too many goals. It's going to be overwhelming. They're not going to be able to concentrate on one thing. You want to have a good balance of both personal and business goals. If it's all personal or all business, what you'll find is that it's too lopsided. Have goals on both sides of the fence and try to attain those goals. Instead of me just sitting here talking about goals that I think that you guys should either work on or not work on, excuse me. We're going to start a Facebook interaction on the group that will basically let you guys, if you've been in the 12-week group years or the 12-week year groups before, you guys can kind of hand out some knowledge to the people who are just starting about, what goals work and what goals don't work. For example, if you're brand new or if you have not been here long enough to establish a constant rhythm of incoming revenue or income, establishing an income goal probably not going to be beneficial for you. But establishing a goal where you have concentration and control over reaching that goal is going to be something that is going to allow you to get to that goal. And by getting to that goal, you're ultimately leading yourself into what you want anyway, which is the income, the revenue growth, etc. So we'll start a post in the Facebook group today. You guys can interact with each other, list potential goals that you think will either work, or if you've had goals in the past that you didn't reach, why didn't it work for you? And then break your goals down into action plans. This is what it's all about. 12-week goals are a bridge between that vision. Once again, you got to have a clear, concise, concrete vision of what you want, and the action plan provides that bridge over to the vision. Your action plans prioritize your work on a daily as well as weekly basis. If you go into the next day not exactly knowing what you should do for that day, day is already lost. It's already a failure. If you go in knowing exactly, you have a checklist of things you want to get done, you check all those off, it's a lot easier. It's like going to the grocery store with or without a list. If you go without a list, come home, probably forgot something. If you have that list, check it off. You know when you're done. You know you've got everything that you need. You leave the store. Same thing here. Your day-to-day activities should be broken down, should be visual. You should be able to check it off a list. If you know what your future holds, look at your actions. Or if you want to know what your future holds, look at your actions. Those are the best predictor of your future. Once again, if you look at what you did today, probably going to be a leading indicator of how your business looks 90, 120 days plus from now. So it's very important that you're in the moment, that you're working on a day-to-day basis, but that you hold that vision true. Write down the few critical actions that you need to complete to achieve your goals. Assign due dates. Then ask yourself, what actions are you going to struggle with? Because going into any task, any goals, there's going to be actions that you struggle with. If you're not good at being on the phone, you haven't picked up the phone lately, that's going to be a key point that you need to address early on. I'm going to struggle, or I have struggled with being on the phone, so I want to make sure that this is something that I concentrate on over the coming days and weeks, that I break out of that habit, because once again, the brain loves habit. You're picking up that phone every day and making the calls, it becomes very easy. If you haven't picked up the phone for weeks, it becomes very hard to pick up that phone. It starts to weigh a lot. You say, you know what, I'll do that tomorrow. Tomorrow turns into the week turns into the month, and all of a sudden you reflect on your year, you really haven't made that many business calls. And then what will I do to overcome those struggles? Once again, it's all about identifying key points that you do well and don't do well, and then making sure that you have an honest, open conversation with yourself about how you're going to overcome these struggles. This preemptive plan will make it easier for you to overcome those obstacles as they arise. And weekly and daily plans have the added benefit of not only what to spend time with, but what not to spend time with. Once again, yes, we need activity on social media. Yes, we want to post personal memes that if they get shared with other people, have our information on it. But if in the middle of the day you're spending a half hour on making the perfect meme and it gets 3 likes, no shares, and 1 comment, that really the best use of your time. Memes can be made on the off hours, and this is stuff that you shouldn't be concentrated on in those key points of the day where people are available to have conversations. So it's very important. What do I spend my time on? What do I not spend my time on? And how do I organize my time to get the most out of the day? Schedule regular reviews. This is our WHAM group. So life is full of distractions. All of us have distractions. No matter, who we are, where we are in the life cycle, we have, a full list of distractions. Planning and reviewing sessions can help you stay focused on what really matters. Being around a group of people that are going through the same thing, it creates a connection to that group. You start getting open and honest about what you're doing or what you're not doing. And people aren't going to berate or belittle you. If that's happening, you need to let us know, because we're all here to lift each other up, inspire each other to get to that end point where, the success of others finds us the success that we're looking for. Each week, every single week, and this will be up to the group leaders, we have a WHAM group, and we talk about progress from the past week and plan the upcoming one. So it's not just about what you did last week. What are you going to do this coming week to correct, possible problems that you identified? And remember, like I said, one of the main areas that I failed in with my WHAM group, not talking enough about the vision. That vision is going to be the motivation that drives execution on the backside. And then the agenda for the WHAM groups: measure the results you've achieved, measure your execution to date, any leading success metrics, set intentions for the coming week, and once again, reconnect with that vision. Why are we doing this? Because if we don't know why, we're going to drift. And then carve out time for strategic work. Remember, once you've created a vision, 12-week goals, and an action plan, be pretty clear on what actions are most important for you to achieve those results. Perhaps more importantly, though, you'll be able to identify all the actions that you could do that won't actually contribute to achieving the results. What's important, what's not important, divide it down the line. What's not important doesn't mean that it shouldn't be done, should just not be done during the peak hours of the day. Both are important, what to do and what not to do. Concentrate on actions that may be high leverage for you, depending on your goals. And then take note of your most productive time of the day. Sometimes mine's in the morning. Sometimes people are, like Mike Hensvark always talks about, he's a night owl. So whatever time of the day is going to be best for you, concentrate on that point to get the most done. No meetings, no personal phone calls, no irrelevant emails, no non-business social media. Concentrate, don't get distracted. There's plenty of ways to get distracted. Facebook can be a black hole. All of a sudden you spent an hour and a half just flipping through looking at people's Christmas pictures. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm not saying don't connect with your Facebook crowd on a personal level. Just do that at night. Do that during the off hours when you've already achieved what you need to do as far as the task for the day. Organize your day. Be effective with that. And 5 common mistakes that are going to cause you to fail. I've been through this twice now. First time, I actually didn't make it through the whole 12-week year. This time around, I made it through the whole process, or the last time, and this time, I'm going to crush it. I feel very confident about what I need to do, what I've identified as my problems in the past. And we had the same type of ratio as a lot of people come into the business don't make it. A lot of people that start 12-week year didn't make it last time for a wide variety of different reasons. These are the most common mistakes that I see coming out. Common mistake number 1, trying to change everything at once. You're not going to change your entire life over a 12-week process. You've got to identify what's most important to me at this time, what do I want to concentrate on right now. By making the small changes, just like we compartmentalize everything in a step-by-step process, the end goal is to build massive distribution coast to coast of financial services. It's not going to happen next week. So break it down. You're not going to change everything at once. Concentrate on what's most important right now. Common mistake number 2, not having a strong enough why. We've talked about this several times in the past, several times on this particular webinar. You've got to know why you're going to get up in the morning and go out and do this, because people are going to let you down. People are going to quit. People are not going to, do what you need them to do. They're not going to be that strong partner that maybe you thought they were going to be. You can't let other people dictate your end point in this company or any other point in your life. Know your why, have your vision, make it strong, and feel it. Common mistake number 3, not tracking your actions. This goes back, we've had an accountability sheet for a long time. We have a pretty big organization. There's only about 25 people regularly that contribute to that. Hopefully we'll get more going as we go forward. Same thing with the 12-week year. If after week 1 you haven't tracked anything, well, guess what? It's going to feel like quitting, because now you're going to go into that first WHAM group and you're going to feel like that I haven't done enough. I don't want to be honest about the mistakes that I made, so I'm just done. I'll do it next time. Track your actions no matter if they're great, good, fair, poor, no matter what's going on. You know, in my WHAM group, some of the weeks, you know, myself and partners, you know, 20, 30%, scores. Those are failing. Those are not good. But we stuck with it. We talked about what happened, and we tried to improve. So you've got to track what's going on, not just the good weeks. Common mistake number 4, focusing too much on lag measures. Remember, I personally don't care about lag measures. I care about the leading indicators. What can I do today, tomorrow, next week that I think is going to give me the best chance to reach my end goals? And common mistake number 5, going at it alone. Remember, that's what the WHAM groups are there. That's what the Facebook groups there. That's what your teammates are there for. We're here to help you. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, you're going to need a team. We're all here to support you. And wherever you are in this company, whether it's day 1, year 3, it doesn't matter. We're all here to support you. It's important that you have a support group, no matter if it's a personal or business goal, that you can count on. And the 12-week year, the final day to sign up for the 12-week year that starts January 7th is the 31st of December. So next Monday is it. We're cutting it off after that because we've got to organize the groups. 2 ways that you can sign up. The Facebook group, we've had a post that's an announcement. Should be at the very top. If you signed up, great. If you haven't and want to, go to that post, as a comment, put your name. I'll include you on the list. If you don't have a Facebook account, you're not in the group, don't know what I'm talking about, you can always email it over and just let me know, hey, I'm interested in the 12-week group or the 12-week year group. I'll put you on the list, and we'll make sure to include you guys. We'll have a final list sometime early next week. We'll start breaking down the groups, announce the group leaders, and we'll get this thing started. That brings me to the point of the weekly accountable meeting group leaders, the WHAM group leaders. These are people that have been through the 12-week process from start to finish, not quit, and actually kept up with your scores, have a good idea about what this is all about, and can lead people in an inspirational way to help them out. So like I said, these are people who have been through the entire process, be confident, be comfortable organizing, holding weekly WHAM group sessions, helping those in the inner circle to navigate through this process. Not an easy process. If this is your first time around, we're going to help you. Don't expect that you're going to just nail this the first time around. What we're looking for, if you sign up, it's your first time, the only thing I'm looking for from you is to complete the process. Good, bad, or ugly, see it through to the end. And that's it, to the end. You're not going to, 12 weeks from now, who knows what's going on? Who knows if you reached your goals, if you didn't reach your goals, how close that you got, but see it to the end. Don't drop out. Easiest thing to do in life, remember, is quit. If you get in the habit of quitting, your brain gets used to that. You're just going to start quitting every single thing that you do. So see it through to the end, no matter what your scores, end up being, no matter what activity you did or did not do, no matter what comes up as far as life throwing you obstacles, don't quit this. See it through. And then our poll we closed yesterday from the Facebook group. We'll be talking about this next Wednesday, kind of giving you guys some, insight, tips, whatever you want to call it, about how to tackle some of these problems. Producing revenue and income, obviously that's always a question. That's always at the top of people's minds. How do I make money? How do I get my income flowing? How do I get to my financial goals? We'll talk about that. In second place came up with time management. 12-week year is going to dramatically help you with that. Effective follow-up. We always talk about this, whether you're in sales, whether you're in building, recruiting, it doesn't matter. What separates the big builders from the small builders, the high earners from the low earners, is effective follow-up, and that's across the board no matter what you're going to do. How well do you follow up? Because most people are terrible at it. So if you break out of that terrible crowd that, maybe doesn't follow up at all, creates a lead, one and done touch, or maybe you're in that subset that, goes out and tries to touch on that lead 2 or 3 times. That's a large majority of the people. What will separate you from the crowd is going over and beyond that. I had one guy that was a lead, got a call from him the other day. He was on the 6th voicemail, the 9th text, and the 9th email that I sent out. I got a call early in the morning. My initial reaction was, sure, this guy's going to be pissed about how much stuff I sent him. He wants to be taken off the list. His reaction was, really appreciate the follow-up. I've been really busy. I'm in real estate right now. I've got one question for you. Do I have to get a life insurance license? Talk to him for a few minutes about it's a certification test, what he needs to do. He's going to think about it. I'm going to follow up with him in the next day or so, and either help him, set up an interview or go ahead and close the file. Marketing, lead generation. We talk about social media. We talk about a lot of this stuff. We're going to be talking about more in the weeks to come, how to open up more marketing funnels that will get more leads coming in, that will allow you to have more follow-up, that will allow you in like a wet washcloth to wring out and see what's left over there. And then partner activation and retention. This is more along the lines of people who have been here for a while. How do I get my partners working? How do I retain my partners? How do I keep them happy? And how do I get them moving in the direction that I want them to go? We're going to discuss all this stuff next Wednesday. And speaking of Wednesdays, the Tuesday company meetings for the next 2 weeks, this week and next week because of the holidays, they are actually moving to Wednesday. So we'll have one tonight, and then we'll have one next Wednesday after the new year, and then it goes back to Tuesdays. Tonight, you're going to have a few people from our team recognize, CEO 10 Club, Vice President, Standard Track, a few people. So come out and support your people, and that's really what we're looking for, guys. If you support people, you have a positive impact on people, and you are driving people through motivation to get them where they want to go, trust me, you're going to find what you're looking for as well. And it's 2019, guys. I can't believe this. These next 2 years. When I came in a few years ago, I pinpointed 2019 and 2020 for huge growth for this company starting to happen. You want to create activity from your side that gets you into a nice multiplier effect with everything else that we're doing, coupled with the company growth. You can see a lot of things start to happen for you. You can get more done in the next 24 months than the traditional model probably could in 7 or 8 years. So this is a big opportunity for you. Don't be a spectator. Where will you be this time next year? Now, remember, we talked about, I'm not talking about activity next December. I'm talking about where do you want to be in this company, in your life, with your personal relationships, with your family, financial, whatever it might be. Start to think about these things because, remember, most people live weekend to weekend. Successful entrepreneurs, successful people with finances, they have longer-term goals and plans. This is a quote that I use a lot, guys, and this is not just about money. This is about anything. If you don't get serious about your money, your business, your personal life, your relationships, you're never going to have a serious business. You're never going to have serious money. You're never going to have a good relationship. You're never going to have a great, strong family. Grant Cardone is somebody that I follow on all platforms. What he says makes sense to me. It's helped me separate my mindset from the normal people out there that want to drag you down, don't want to believe in your dreams, telling you that you work too hard or that your life is lopsided. Life sometimes has to be lopsided for a small period of time in order on the back end to get you the freedom that you're looking for. Financial freedom, time freedom, lifestyle freedom. All of these things are going to come with a price. Pay the price today. You can pay any price tomorrow. And that comes to our last point for today. You've got choices. You can make excuses or you can make it happen. I want you guys to make it happen. I want you guys to be successful here. One of the main advantages of this platform when I came in was to raise up entrepreneurs or entrepreneurial mindset of people to get them to where they want to go. In this economy going forward, you cannot trade your time for money. You're going to get creamed. All of a sudden, you're going to be in that vast majority of the population that's struggling month in, month out, no savings, no emergency fund, and no real zest for life. If you're going to a W-2 job, or if you're going anywhere and it's the same thing, not getting where you want, and you're repeating that pattern, depression comes in. All of a sudden, you don't have the same outlook on life. So get your vision correct, get your why correct, get your activity correct, and make it happen, guys. I hope everybody has a great, New Year's. If you guys need to talk to us about anything, we're always open. We're starting to develop some leaders in this team as well. Going forward, this next 24 months is going to be explosive. So get your mindset right, make it happen, and then think positive about life in general, because there's a lot of things that can drag you down, people, events, so just exit out of that mindset. Don't let people drag you down. Realize you've got something special. When we are changing the way financial services agencies are built, operated, managed, that's a multi-trillion-dollar industry with a huge disruption. If you don't see the tidal wave of money that could come from that, then you're blind.
All right. Another great training from Mike Amos. Thank you so much. So we've got some time left. If anybody wants to star 6, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stop the recording.